Happy Tuesday. It's me and you's day. I'm so happy to see you here. It is hot, 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 you guys. We broke our record yesterday here in Southwest Florida. And, it's storm season. And by that, I mean it's hurricane season. But in hurricane season, it's also rainy storm season for Florida. So it means every afternoon or evening we get storms. And historically, they are set at the same time each day. Each year is a different time, so to speak. But with climate change, it's changing. All right, speaking of changing, I wanted to say thank you very much to Patty S. for sending me something from my wish list. I very much appreciate that. We have our card of the day for the Way of Positive Change Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Substack. I did my first post on Substack today, and I'm getting all of the rest of the particulars together. The person that was going to help me couldn't help me, so I'm learning as I'm going, but I'm getting the members and everything set up to the best of my ability. And pictures. Okay, so what does this mean? So please join us there on any one of those platforms. Every morning, especially if you're learning tarot, you just want some advice from our guides and angels that's been helping all of us in our enlightened lightworker family. It's great to see you there. Drop a comment, or you don't have to pay for it. It'll be for free subscribers on Substack, and it's free every day on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Facebook. Okay, the Way of Positive Change. Okay. All right. And so what does the Nine of Pentacles means? It means it's actually one of the most loveliest compliments that our guides and angels can give to us. They're very proud of us. They want us to dress for success and feel good in our clothing and in our skin and feel beautiful and take very good care of ourselves. They want to acknowledge our intelligence and our ability to stick with projects and our tenacity to work and give up personal time in the past, or not forego parties in order to study. And they're saying, hey, you've worked hard, you planted the seeds in your garden and now it's harvest time. So this is a note from them to say, we're proud of you, you're smart, you're accomplished, and you look marvelous. And they want you to congratulate yourself, pat yourself on the back, and enjoy your day today. All right, now, one more thing before I get into what the title of this video is about, because we saw this coming. All right, but I have readings available at the end of June, towards the end of June, so and into July. And I just want to let people know it's important for you to record your reading. I know that I've told many of you, we've been here for how many years? 8, 7, 8? That my guides and angels will allow me to look into your future to the next 12 months or further if it's a large event, okay? And so when you have your reading, it's too much to write down. You can take notes, but it's best if you record. So if we meet on your laptop or your tablet, many times you can record Zoom straight to your computer, or we meet on the tablet and you can use your cell phone to voice record. And that way, 4, 6, 8, 10 months down the road, you can listen back to the recording. It's imperative. And if a reader won't let you record the reading, don't have the reading. That's a huge red flag, okay? It's really important. I used to make cassettes for people of their readings in my store and what places where I was reading and managed. And then I used to burn CDs for people, but now you have your phone, so please use it. And don't wait until the day of your reading. Please don't wait till the day of your reading. Okay. So be prepared so you can, they're going to give you a lot of information in your readings, because I read in the 12th house astrological spread, and that tells me where all of your challenges are for the next year and how best to navigate through them, and then where your blessings and gifts are. So it's really important to record it, because some of the things or names and things that we get, you're not going to remember until later on. Okay. Now, when I was on Petty Boots on Sunday, and when we looked at what was going to be happening in my last reading, around the time of 45's going down, demise, burnout, someone else takes over, which they've already taken over technically, literally, because the body snatchers only took what was left in his, he had a brain the size of a gnat, an amoeba, like Dr. Lena would say. All right. So anyway, we saw at that time that we had the Four of Pentacles, remember, and extreme grift and partnerships with the Lovers card. And this UFC fight that's coming up and this birthday that's coming up has really also, we saw aggressive movements by 45. So now what are we seeing? There's going to be intense heat the day of the UFC thing in front of the White House. It's going to be 89 degrees and scorching. The matches are supposed to be at 2, 4, and 8. If they even go through with the judge having some say so. The day before, is going to be this big super pack. It's $1 million per person to go to this event on the Saturday beforehand. And then that allows you to go to the UFC fight the next day, but you must pay the $1 million ticket for the people that are going to this pack. And then he's also dropped today at around 1 p.m. He dropped the Trump coin. It was revealed. It has a picture. It's Trump coin and and it has Dana White's picture and Trump's picture on it. They're gold medallion coins. Remember, and you can purchase them for $12,000. But wait, there's more. And then, even though Trump has sort of given over the running of his companies and everything, his sons are listed as running it, and they are the recipients of the money, or they will run the money. But Trump, 45, is the recipient. All right. And so the grifts, and this huge grift with the person from India that was targeted by 45 and had to pay millions of dollars into a startup company for Junior. So there's the huge grift. Okay. And it's in all those different directions. And the aggressive action there was an Apache helicopter that was taken down by the IRAN leaders, the IRGC, whatever you want to call them, or the Ayatollah. And this happened a while, within the last 24 hours, but now 45 is saying there has to be a response, just like Bibi said there was going to have to be a response. So let's see. Let's open with what is that? What is that going to be? And they said the 2 pilots of the Apache were rescued. We don't know that. We don't know about the other 2 pilots either. Okay. We have lots of questions that do not have to do with politics, but because of what just was announced, because Trump just announced. Well, so if you're over it and you don't want to listen, then please find someone else's channel, because I did post for non-political questions, and I have listed them here. And I want to thank everybody that was kind enough to post a non-political question, which I wrote down because I do my homework. All right, but we are going to look at this because this is really big. And I feel like we were told what things were going to be, what to look out for with that Knight of Swords, which is aggressive action, and the Four of Pentacles, which is the grift, and the Lover's card, which is the partnerships. And I believe we had the Devil as well. So I just want to see what is 45 going to do to Thank you, Michelle. That's very kind of you. What is 45 going? What is happening? Is this an F flag? Because the economy, because the stock market's faltering, and they're saying they're going to raise interest rates, and there could be issues there, but we're all going to be okay. But what is 45 going to do? Going to hit things that shouldn't be hit, with things flying through the air. The video will be time-stamped, and you can go back and go through the non-political ones if you want, after they're time-stamped. And that might not be for a little bit either. Okay. This is done in unison with someone else. And this has been analyzed, and it will go after a place or something that affects their economy, affects their finances. There are many things about it that are secret that we're not going to know. We're almost there. And then now isn't that funny? Now the name of that one person, that terrible MAGA person that posts on X, cat turd, that name just came. So watch what comes out of that person's post or who reports that. So he tacos here. He does something, but he doesn't do what he said he's going to do. It's a sneaky thing, and then just sort of, it's almost like punching someone in the back and seeing what they do. You know what I mean? But there's this sneaky thing that is another passageway, a roadway, a travel way, a waterway. Okay. Thank you for the super chats, you guys. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Okay. So he sort of tacos here. So how does Iran do? Let's just see. And then, then he's so confused. Then he says, we're going to have a deal. Okay, so there's more things flying through the air. So stay tuned, because the energy, when I read on Petty Boots this past Sunday, the energy for Saturday and Sunday looked really, I got every bad card, worse than what I got for Shady. So how does Iran do? Will their country be more wounded, monetarily, hampered, hindered? They still feel like they have. So there's one building or one particular area, could be a power area that has a problem. It's two places to it, but they feel like they're okay. But then they get mad, and so maybe that waiting is, so maybe 45 will do like a punch in the back or some sort of little thing, and it makes it look small or simple, and then there's something larger that comes. So it's a two-pronged front, okay? Not good there. All right. So then how does the U.S. do? Will Iran do something? How do we do? We're strength, we're holding in there. Okay, so we do have problems. Doesn't make problems for us. There's that aggressive move. there will be more F flags. Okay, so our economy, okay, so it's not very good. We're still optimistic here. You could help it. It looks tough. It looks like what happens with them is tough. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right, so now I want to know, where is Melania? Where is she? You know, ever since the correspondence dinner, and she didn't like that, and we know someone knew that was going to happen, and that scared her. And then she's afeared that someone's going to rat her out, and Garo said she was Epstein's escort for entertainment purposes only. Where is she? She is at one of her regular places that she stays. It doesn't show a bunch of travel cards. She wants out of her deals. She wants a divorce. Now she's going to trap. She's going to take off. I think she's threatening, waiting, searching. So she's just sort of hanging out, and then she's going to take off here. This is a place she's already been before. All right. All right, so is Ngaro or Ashley St. Clair or who? Some other important people that know about, or Erica Kirk, or who's going to spill the beans? Is someone spilling the beans? Is someone telling all on Melania? Does the truth come out soon? You know it's coming, or she wouldn't have gone to the podium. Yeah, there's nothing she can do about it. They're working on it. They're putting it together as we speak. Someone that knows her well from her past. Here it is. It's going up in writing. This article, script, or Substack, or something's okay, and that's the end. And then that puts all of the speculation. Now, someone's trying to get rid of it, okay? But I don't think it's going to work. Well, it might work if they're paid gobs and gobs and gobs of money. This overrules this. So I think it's coming out. Someone's just holding out for more funds. Very close. Okay. Now, I want to know, all right, I'll come back around to, okay, Epstein's executive assistant, Leslie Groff, is testifying in a closed door transcribed interview today by the House Oversight Committee. She looked extremely nervous, and he bought her, and she was there for 18 years with him. And she said she never saw anything. Whatever. He bought her a Mercedes-Benz, and then when she got pregnant, he hired a full-time nanny for her because he said he couldn't afford to lose her to motherhood, which made me want to hurl, but I didn't. All right. Is she going to accidentally spill any beans? she's going to accidentally, well, let's girl accidentally say something that's helpful for the victims. She's going to say something. She's going to unwittingly say something about another female. It could be one of the victims or something she did. There's all this deception. She will say something that can be, she doesn't think it can be helpful to them, but it will. She will say something that's very helpful and beneficial for the victims here seen in the 8th place. So this is very good. So she's not going to get, she won't continue to get away with that. All right. Now, we'll come back to, we're going to ask about, at the end, I'm going to ask about, we're going to go to the non-political questions now, and thank you again. We're going to ask about the energy and what's going on Friday the 12th, 13th, Saturday, the No King's Day, and Sunday the 14th, which is the UFC fight day, and the no-name persons. Whatever, because I got such bad cards on that. All right, so let's go now to, I want to know if the 2 Apache pilots were actually, did this happen? Did it happen and were they rescued? Or is this a made up thing? Of course, not everything that they said is true. Something was not celebratory. A female reporter will come out with this. Here's all the secrets. There was much more to this story. Nebulous soup, shell game, aggression. This is really, no, this all is, there's so much not right about this, and just gives him the right to say, we're going to have to respond, like, because he copies everything from Bibi. We're going to have to respond, or, and I'm tired of waiting for you to make a deal with us. So you can make a deal, or that's it. That's it. All right. Now, Pat Lee asked, it's been said by many readers that our intergalactic friends are understandably horrified by so much of human behavior. So what, if anything, do they like about us? What do our intergalactic friends like about us? What do they see as our good qualities? I thought it was a great question too. Okay, so when we do the Celtic cross, where do we look? That's what we're going over, we'll be going over in our tarot class. In the Celtic cross, we look at the 8th position, and that's how we're seen. Helene, my protest buddy, I have to text you to find out where we're going to meet on Saturday. And if you're going, I'm sure you're going. You've gone to more than I have gone. Well, they see us as resilient, having gone through difficult things. We continue working. So our work ethic, our our ability to invent things, they do not like the material greed or where people in that 1% that are, the grifters that are way up there, then, just keep to themselves and don't share. We know many wealthy people are philanthropists, but there are so many, and there's lots of good people. Um, they do like some of our environmental practices of the past because we have done some good things. They like that we allow a diverse amount of spiritual study. They like our ability to have teachers and spiritual teachers and regular general education teachers. Um, they like that we keep our faith or we keep our promises. We're talking about U.S. citizens now, enlightened citizens. Um, they like certain things about our education system and the ability for people to get further in life. They like that we teach everything from elementary school to quantum physics and karma. Um, and that we teach people how to be confident and how the mind is used, how the mind can create, how the mind can call things to ourselves, how we manifest. They like that we are normally very welcoming to people who travel here. And they do like some of the things that we've done for other countries, that things that we've done that have been philanthropic. And they love it when we help each other. So they really like that. And they, because there really are, some people get very down or depressed because of the things that we've gone through. But really, in our enlightened family, we've learned, there are really many more good people than there are ugly. There are, when somebody gets hurt, on your block or at the grocery store, there's more helpful people than there are people that would walk away from that person or ignore that person. So, I think that's what they really like about us. And our safety systems like paramedics and things like that. But mostly it's about how we look out for each other and how we have empathy and loyalty and good ethics to share. Okay. And they also like the teachings of um, the not, they're not saying religion, but they're spiritual teachings of how to share when you have more, how to distribute and share and give and receive as well. Okay. Then the devil's on the bottom. I think that they don't like that there has been such uh, so many splits. When you're in a family and someone goes into the MAGA cult or the opposite way or something. So they don't like that, but they like our ability to get back together, to come back together to family things. Okay. All right. Okay, Apple 2535 asks, I wanted to do more about that. Maybe we'll look into that more Friday. I'll be back here before Friday with everything that's going on. 2535 Apple asks, was Meghan Markle ever an Epstein yacht girl? Was Meghan Markle ever an Epstein yacht girl? Was she around Epstein that way? She did travel. She got around. She traveled, but I think she was around people that were around that person. Okay, I'm going to say that she was around people that were around Epps. And in her past, during a time of struggle, there may have been some things that she did like that. But for the most part, that past is dead to her. And now she tries to help other people that went through some of the things that she went through. But I'm fairly certain that there was not necessarily Epps, but another person that helped her through a very difficult time that may have been like a sugar someone or something. Okay, so there are some associations with some people who had associations. So in the circle. All right. Joanne asks, Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie, God bless her, who is responsible for her disappearance? Who was responsible for Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie's disappearance? I think Meghan Markle probably knows a lot more than what we think. Okay. This was done for money and greed. Secrets, money, greed, and control. Man. An offer was made from an unbalanced person in order to upset this family. And I'm just saying for entertainment purposes only, a family member could have actually known about this. I'm just going to say that. On a scale from 0 to 10, we're at 7. There's information coming soon. They're going to try to pin it on somebody that was an associate or friend of someone from the family. got a cat hair, you guys. I ate that. Okay. Something about a very specific building. People who had a wedding or celebration. There was a party or some sort of celebration or gathering before this happened. And it has to do with somebody that attended that. So I'm going to have to look into that. Okay. I feel like we're going to get information about this very, very soon. And I believe when I read with Kevin Loving, he said it was this time frame as well. All right. Is there any, I also wanted to ask, is the Pima County Sheriff, Chris Nanos, is he deceptive? Thank you, Judy. It's been so hot, you know, our pets are shedding. And even though you brush them or you try to get everything, something still, like in my lipstick of all things, you just never know where that's going to happen. Okay, messages coming in very quickly. Someone's trying to pin something on him. He's being betrayed from within, the calls coming from within the house. This is a plan, a plot. It's a man, someone that wants his job, doesn't want to be seen. Oh, I think the sheriff has possibly blurred the lines over something. He knows that government has something to do with this. But mostly I feel like he's helpful. Okay, so I don't have the 7 of Swords. I don't have the 5 of Swords. I feel like he's hidden some things, but I do feel that he's going to solve this, and I feel like he's going to be helpful. Okay? All right. So someone's trying to get him, though. He's been betrayed. Someone's trying to get him. And there's people in his camp that have broke from him. All right. Regina wants to know, when will we have flying cars? We already have amphibious, and we have flying cars. I'm trying to get, you know, those Waymos are all over the place in California. Can you guys hear me okay? Waymos, Teslas. When are we going to have flying cars? Thanks for letting me know the audio is good. Okay. There's one man in particular that's going to produce this flying car. But the airspace itself has to be cleared out. They have to have zones, is the word that just came in my mind. This was already brought up and tried to brought into market, and it was shoved back down. Here it is, though. Here's the inventor. It's off to a rocky start. They have to borrow money. Borrow from Peter to pay Paul. You go back to amphibious. It might be able to do both. Scientists are working on it. It's costly. I think they've already invented this and they just haven't revealed it, and then it's sort of shocking when it comes out. There's people using these already and we're not aware of it. So this is a big deal. It's going to be like, holy cow. And then when it happens, it's sort of shocks our world and we're like pushed out of our comfort zone because it comes upon us so quickly. Okay, but they're already doing this. I'm shocked to even see that. Okay, of course, you know. All right. You know, that building with Nancy Guthrie could be the church she goes to. And it could have been someone at their potluck, and she might have said something to that person. I'm assuming they have a potluck because we have a potluck. But I mean, a lot of churches have potlucks, one Sunday a month. This was at their party or celebration of something that happened right before. And this person, I feel like, had an interaction or something. And so this is coming out. Okay. Put a pin in that because that's like a Charlie K thing. All right. Because many of you have been with me where we just, every reading I did about Turning Point and Charlie K was like, put a pin in that because that's coming to an end. All right. And the last time I read on EK, you can go to my video bank under lives, and it says it right in the, it's like 4 or 5 videos back. It says Erica, the very first word. And you can watch that. That was, her future doesn't look very good. And her association with Victor Marx, running for governor for Colorado, isn't going to work out very well. All right. Ellison asked, are there going to be any medical treatment breakthroughs or cures coming through very soon? These are great non-political questions, you guys. Are there any medical treatment breakthroughs or cures coming through soon? Well, we just had one for pancreas cancer, but it added longevity to them. But that's a start. Guides and angels, are we going to have huge medical treatment and breakthroughs? We already have CRISPRs. That's been going on for 5 years, 6 years, and they're getting better at that. With that, the stem cell treatments are phenomenal, where they're using, you know, your own cells. Yeah, these are researchers that gather a lot of money, that have a well-known name. So that can also include the pharmaceutical companies that have that big name, or this could be research hospitals that have that big name. And again, they already have this information, but they're not releasing it yet. And I'm not quite sure. Thank you, T-Barb. Bless you. They're not releasing it. Because unfortunately, there's money and people, and there is only money and no cure, right? It sort of surprised me how quickly someone must have taken the secret. Of course, there's all kinds of different herbal things you can use for those GLPs, like berbertine or something like that, berbertine. How fast they came out with the pill, because they really squeezed everyone with the cost of those. All right, there's great hope for the future. Some of them have already been designed. They just don't have a release date. Here it is, as someone that really wants to help, a great inventor. It's gonna revive hope in people. When it happens suddenly. I feel like we're going into a time of many revelations, like revelatory information, so that when these, it's almost like there's going to be a book of secrets that gets in the right hands, and they unlock the lock and everything is listed there. And they're just going to go through the list of, we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this. In times of trouble, release this information. It's just going to be, I just feel, I see this book with, it's almost like a big government book with a lock on it, you know, and then it's just going to be shocking. And it's the time, and the angels come to help us, and they're like, you're not going to be able to hide this anymore. And there is opposition and people fighting against the release of this, but they will not win, because the magician withdraws his wand from the chaos, and he creates what he wants, and he does what he wants to do, and it makes these people angry. And then there's going to be all kinds, just like there are for the GLP pills and everything, that everybody's going to, you know, try to replicate and do all kinds of crazy stuff. And there's just been money spread out, the oligarchs, all of the oligarchs, and, you know, just remember how much, when it is finally revealed how much Russia has everything to do with everything our government has done, some of us will be shocked, and some of us will just say, of course, it's just going to be crazy. All right, anyway, it's coming very soon. Soon. And if I took this, I would say by the time of Aquarius, but this comes up more soon. So there will be information about it. There will be revealing information about it before it's actually available. But it's really good news, and it comes very quickly because the magician is in the 6th spot. All right. Now, Sandra asked, and I read on the screwworm and the Ag Secretary, Brooke Rollins, and how she LIED, saying that it hadn't gone through Mexico and approached the border or across the border, and then they diagnosed a cat. Now they've got another diagnosis 5 miles from that first one. And so Sandra wants to know, are they going to get the screwworm outbreak under control? Now, when I read on this last Friday, I saw that they would, and they're going to implement the sterilization like they did back in the 60s. I don't understand all of the underpinnings of this and how it got to where it is now again, except for the deregulation of deregulations, of deregulating everything that can be regulated or deregulated, whatever. All right, and I also read on that, remember, it's timestamped. The last video I did in the blue and white dress, I read about that tick too that makes you allergic and you can't eat meat. All right, so are they going to get a handle under control? They're going to get it under control. All right, there's new information. They're shining a light on the problem. Everyone will gather. Brooke Rollins is probably going to lose her job. Okay, she's dark-haired. She's on her side. All right. There's the deregulation and fighting. The foolishness, the stupidity of walking away from responsible things. They're going to put money towards it. They're going to help each other. All right, they're going to get it under control. Okay, so that's good news. But it's still loose right here. Is it just? It's madness. You know, really, it's madness. My oldest son took me to dinner yesterday. We went to his favorite Mexican restaurant. We were talking about Disclosure with Steven Spielberg, and he said, I forget what he said. I wanted to go to the IMAX, and I was like, will you go with me on a rainy Sunday after church? And he's like, I can't make the promise. And I'm like, make that promise. And he said something ugly, and I looked and teasing, and I looked at him, and I started clicking like I was the girl in the movie. Because I'm already strange, so he really lost it. It was pretty funny. I made a louder clicking sound. I did it really good on the spot there, but it was funny. All right, let's look. Thank you guys so much for that. I'm going to do that too for next Friday. We'll do some more. I'll post another one for some non-political questions. But let's look at the energy for all of us. Let's look. What time is it? Oh, yeah, we got to do. All right, let's take a look at the energy of Friday, June 12th. No clicking. The previews look so good for that. I must go to the IMAX. You know, that's where you go for special things, films like Avatar, you know? Okay. What is the energy in the United States? Friday, June 12th. Thank you so much, T-Barb. Okay, we're celebrating. What are we celebrating? Because we get news that someone's looking pale. All right, someone gives us some information. There's a reason to celebrate. Judgment, fighting, chaos, power struggles. I guess we're going to watch the inbred fight the inbred. Oh boy, people are going to be bipolar-y. They're going to be up and down and all around and knuckle dragging Neanderthal, club dragging Neanderthals. Man, huge power struggles. Wow, there's all those billowing clouds, gossip, spying, gossip, power struggles, internet issues. Oh, we're gonna be happy with the outcome. But other people are not going to be happy. All right, so this is good for us. Okay, so the overall energy of the astrology is a little cray, but man, this is good for us. I'm all about it. We're gonna it's like we're gonna watch some of them implode, right? I can imagine it would be like the two people you most dislike picking a fight with one another, you know? Get your popcorn. Get your champagne. Please get the champagne. Please set the physics in motion for a celebration. So if we get all the tools, you know, if we get all the tools and we go shopping and we send it out to the universe, this is for our celebration that's coming soon, because we've been in this together for a very long period of time and we're ready for change. And we love everyone, and we're going to be flexible because we know that someone has pooped all over our government. All right, now let's look at January 13th. No King's Day. All right. What is the energy for you and I for Saturday, June 13th? I forgot my water. I got so into that Substack thing with what I do and my numbers and everything. You have to have everything about your LLC, and it was craziness. All right, there's a lot of, okay, there's something happening with Putin, around Putin, and top government and instability. Fights, more fights. So chaos, fighting, competition. Everybody's getting up in each other's grills. Everybody wants to be the star. There's a land discussion and trade swap, soldiers, something with Russia. Opportunity. Lying, cheating, stealing. He can't be trusted. I mean, we're okay, we're stable, but other people are not stable. But there's something going on with Pood on Saturday, and possibly our government as well, and a judgment. Something could be settled around that. We are okay here. Okay. All right. And then, boy, some of the world there's going to be some fights. Forget the ornament, the junkyard ornament on the White House lawn. We're having the real deal. Oh, is it Sunday? No King's Day is Sunday? Okay. All right. Sorry. I thought it was Saturday. Don't we usually do it on Saturdays? Sorry about that. Thank you for correcting me. What do I know with dates? I try. Okay. Well, that makes it better for me. Okay. Sorry. No Kings is Sunday. All right. So then we go to Sunday the 14th, which is 45. No person. No celebration. B-Day. And the march, which makes sense. And the supposed UFC fight. So, but what is the energy for you and I on Sunday, the 14th? Because I think it's good for us. I think it's bad for all of them. But I think it's good for you and I. But let's see. Don't schedule too much for that day. Okay? Keep it simple. Think about, so on this coming Sunday, the 14th, keep it simple and think about the top 3 things that you would like to achieve that day. Okay? Keep it simple. This looks like you could pick up too much or do someone else's work or have to clean because you think you do it quicker, better, faster, and the other person isn't getting up off their butt fast enough, and you're just going to do it because you're just going to do it. And you're not going to wait, and you're going to take control, and then you lack patience, and it's just tough. So don't do that. Okay. Go somewhere to relax. Don't get wrapped all up in duties. Remember what our angels and our guides said. The dish police, the sink dish police are not coming to your house. They're not coming, I promise. So they want us to go out to celebrate here. They want us to remain in a celebratory mood, attitude, concept, manifesting. You may have a false sense of responsibility towards someone or something, or think that you have to do this or that, and you can't go, protest or something like that. And a couple of you, may have males in your life that just say, don't, I need you to help me with this or something like that, but try to like I said, streamline, keep it simple, and get out, okay? Don't have a false sense of responsibility. And again, Pood and 45 are going to be on the horn, or they're both not doing well at the same time. That's very much about accomplishing your goals. Get organized before the weekend comes. So, do your chopping, do your food prep, get organized, put, your vegetables and things that you want to add to your, whatever you're cooking, whatever meats you're going to cook. It makes it so much easier. So, and then write down your top 3 goals for each day. So the energy about what happens on Sunday is going to be so filled with conspiracy theories and speculation and rumors and gossip that it's going to be hard to tell the truth, and nobody's going to know what's real and what isn't. And that makes all of us like, well, are we celebrating? Are we popping the champagne? What are we doing? Is it, and they may say something like, if you go and you do the protest or whatever, that, there's just, remember, this is just gossip and speculating and spying and problem making and false words. So it isn't true. And this is, we just wait for the dust to settle to know. So there's going to be a lot of, there's just going to be a lot of gossip and speculation and things that are false on Sunday. So do not believe everything that you hear. Okay. All right. Now let's do a reading for you and me. Next couple of days. So today, tomorrow, Wednesday, guides and angels, what is it that you want us to focus on? What do you want us to know is coming? Do you want us to celebrate? Special new dress, new tambourine, your new djembe, sounding off at sunset. Your tinctures. All right, let's look at it. Here it is. And watch those storms. And did you hear that we had an earthquake yesterday, you guys? It was 6.1 off the coast, west coast of Cuba. But we felt it here in Southwest Florida. It was crazy. I was here by myself and I was like, I just couldn't even believe it. Fortunately, I had felt one when I was like 13. I was 12 or 13 in Illinois and we had one. So I knew what it felt like. All right, now here our wisdom is on its side. So they want us to take extra good care of ourselves and not overindulge in anything. Okay, so stay balanced. Don't overeat, don't oversmoke, don't overeat gummies, don't overdrink. Keep yourself balanced. This means you could sort of shoot yourself in the foot here because you're not using your wisdom to your best ability. So follow good guidelines of good ethics for good health. Okay. Know when to not have that last drink before you leave a party. Know when you've had enough of something and you need to go outside. Don't shop your way through anything. Don't eat your emotions or shop your way through or gamble. And then if you know that somebody has a tendency to take you off your pedestal of peace or pedestal of balance, don't go with that person. We had this card yesterday, and this is about, do I go with my head? Do I make decisions with my head and remove the emotions out of it? Or do I go with this person even knowing that I don't, let me just put it very simply. You'll do better this weekend by yourself a bit. Okay? So I'm going to say this because of the Queen of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. Those are not the party people, although the Queen of Swords can really dance and tell a fabulous joke. But with these three, so go to some things. You do need to go to do some family stuff. Just know when to leave and who not to be around, because there's just going to be some agitation, and maybe some people say some things that are poopy. But overall, this is really good energy. Just protect yourself a bit, and don't be aware that your emotions could lead you into tempting you to go off balance in any area where you know you have a few problems balancing. All right. So we dress for success. We do very good, loving things for ourselves. We know who has issues, or if we go hang with somebody that gets into trouble, we could get into trouble ourselves. So we don't do that. And it's okay to, we can go celebrate with someone who is healthy and possibly in our family or in our crew. And someone might even get, agitated that you won't go with them or something. With the person who's the troublemaker, but everything is okay. And ultimately, by the end of this week, we're doing good. We're having quick changes for the better. Everything leads me to believe that there's some shocking revelations and things coming, but we are going to be doing good as a whole. I am not afeared at all. Please do not sit on your butt, though. That is also indulgent of not moving, and that is not good for you. So we have to really stick to the ethics of what is good health, and you'll be a winner. Okay? And know who to not hang out. You know who that troublemaker is. Even if you love them and you get into good fun with them, that sometimes can be on the edge. That's not the time. All right. Much love to you. You do you. Do some really great things for yourself. Just don't overindulge. Okay. Much love to you, T-Barb. You are marvelous, fantastic. We love you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the super chats. And please find me on Substack and let me know that you see me there, that you saw the post that I did today, and we'll have some fun together. And I'm going to post videos, and I'm going to do some small videos on there. I'm just learning everything. But so by Friday, it'll be all together. All right, you guys, I will see you soon. Thank you so much.